酒も飲んだのですか？そうさ、お酒も大好き。たくさんレモンサワーを買いました。はい。
I would really prefer if you would be quiet.
How's it going, everybody? Our little Chibi is finally growing up. It took so long. I mean, about 35 years, probably 35 years. He's went from getting told to be quiet from just about everybody in his life. His mom, Caveman, his girlfriends, the Minas that he was trying to chat up, and it always backfired in his face. It always ended up with him getting exposed on the internet in more ways than one, literally and figuratively, like both. It seems to never stop with Chibi. That's why he's one of my favorite Lolcows. Just about every single thing that he ever tries backfires. He literally just can't help it. But here recently, Chibi was going to try something that I thought was going to go astronomically wrong. I thought this was the worst decision that he could possibly have made in his entire life, and that was him moving to Japan. And to be honest with you guys, I don't think this is going to work out, but at least it's been 2 months now that Chibi has been strolling through the streets of Tokyo, and he hasn't faced too many problems. Now, he's still getting messed with. People are still going into his chat telling him that he's going to fail, and Chibi himself, he thinks he's going to fail too. You can see it in his eyes. He's like, man, I don't think this is gonna work out for much longer. But at least he's doing it, right? Right? You know, there's certain things we can do in our life where it's like, well, at least you tried it. But then there's some like super high goals where you need like building blocks to prove to yourself, like, you know, I'm going to be able to do this and last. And for the most part, for a lot of people, you have like nets you can fall in if you fail. If you completely flame out, you're like, okay, I can go live on my parents' couch for a little bit. You know what? I've got a few friends. We can become roommates and, you know, they'll take some of the stress off of me. But not with Chibi anymore. After moving to Japan, all of those safety nets are gone, and unlike most of us who possibly need a little bit of help every now and then, Chibi needs non-stop help. There's never been a time in his life where he hasn't had to rely on his mom, where he hasn't had to rely on some roommates who eventually kick him out. It's never ending with this guy, but now that he's in Japan, he has none of that. The only thing he has is a live stream and a dark past that he wants to forget about so bad, but it's never going to happen. It doesn't matter if this dude is in Japan, in America, it's going to go to hell 100% of the time. I know in the beginning I was like, yeah, you know, might work out for him. No, we know this isn't going to end well. This is the worst decision that he could have possibly ever made, and I'm all here for it. I cannot wait to see how this evolves. And the last Lolcow documentary I made on this guy, if Chibi actually goes to Japan, this is going to be his final evolution, Chibi-san. Taking his Lolcow talents from America all the way to Japan, because do you think much has changed since then? No, the only thing that has really changed is now Chibi is more dependent on the drink than ever before. And this is a man who used to not drink, who used to hate everything about it, but if it's Japanese, it's good, right? You can completely throw every bit of your old American lifestyle out the window and just pick up the new Japanese-y lifestyle. And it's so crazy that this guy decided to do this, because out of all things, out of all people, Chibi has always had a terrible time with communicating with people. That's what he's always said, and one of his most famous clips present that in grand fashion. I mean, I just played it in the intro of this video. So instead of working on his social skills, being able to be around Americans who are into the strange stuff that Chibi's also into, he thinks, no, I will never continue to work on that. I will throw all of my friendships away. None of them. They're all worthless to me now. I will now travel to a country that I barely know the language of and become an English teacher. And we're going to talk more about that, especially the English teacher part, because how incredibly concerning it is because of Chibi's past actions. But for right now, I'm going to stop yapping and we're going to jump into the first arc of Japanese B.
How's it going, chat? Trying to change the category. It's stuck on Umamusume for some reason. I don't know how to change it. It won't let me change it, so whatever. I think it's like 32 degrees Celsius today. Might be a little bit hotter than yesterday, which is never great, honestly. But this is just kind of how it goes in summer in Japan. Man, by the time I get home, I'll probably have swamp ass all over again. Life's okay. Still just getting used to everything. But overall, not bad. I wish I had a bed. Right now I'm sleeping on a couch. It's gonna be at least a week or two before I get an apartment of my own. So right now I'm staying with a friend. Bro says I won't last more than a month here. Sure, I'll accept your challenge. Let's be frank. There's no way we weren't going to be running into people who were going to give me a hard time after moving here.
Why does he look like a cringier version of Daniel Larson right now, walking around with those big ass headphones? You know the Tokyo population was looking at him like, man, why do these Americans have to come to our country and just ruin our reputation? It's because of that damn anime we're always putting out. We like to watch our cool reality shows where we get to punk them on the daily.
I came here before earlier this year, and I want to actually possibly learn how to teach English. So I am here by myself. So this time I came alone just to see if I can kind of handle things on my own.
To be fair, I don't know what the mainstream television is in Japan, but I'm just gonna assume it's stuff like them catching Chibi when he's coming off of his flight, and him proving to us once again why he's a true and honest lolcow. But then he does stuff like this. Been a Twitch streamer for like 10, 12 years. It's been far over a decade. He should have this down pat in multiple ways already, but no, Chibi doesn't understand it at all. He can't even switch what game he's playing. He can't take it from, okay, I'm playing some strange game with bears and stuff in it, and I'm literally talking about some Baldur's Gate 3 kind of bear action that Chibi was playing. He'll reference that later in the video, or did I cut it out? Either way, I'm telling you about it now. And then, in an effort to not embarrass himself, he proceeds to tell you how bad he's gonna smell when he returns back to his house. And when I say his house right now, no, it's not his house, it's literally his roommate's apartment. Could you imagine? From my understanding about Japan's culture is, there's one thing you better not do, and that's make a mess in the house. You better take your shoes off before you enter the place. I mean, in the King of the Hill episode, they literally had like a little section blocking off the main hotel room because they didn't want you to get it dirty. And you got Chibi living with you. He jumps all over your couch, rolls around like the Vaporeon he is, stinking the place up. You must be dreading your decision making from the moment he stepped into the doorway. There's going to be so many people predicting a downfall that it's not even funny. I guarantee you everyone in the comments section, besides like some of them acknowledging that like, yay, this is a pretty big step for Chibi, and I'll acknowledge that too. It's kind of insane that he actually went through with it, but at the end of the day, you know, this is just going to end poorly. I kind of figured Chibi will kind of end up like Oscar the Grouch off Sesame Street, except he'll just pop out of the trash can every now and then and spit out the few bits of Japanese words that he knows to the ongoing public, then he'll be like, oh, congratulations, Chibi. Congratulations. Now my 2-year-old daughter understands far more. He needs to get the rest of the show going. If you want a tiny bit of Chibi history whenever he's lived on his own, I'll tell you about it. There was one time Chibi decided he was going to move like far away from his mom, and his mom was absolutely freaking out about it because at the age of 27, I believe, it was 25 through 27, she said that Chibi didn't even know how to cook a single meal yet. A 25 through 27-year-old man didn't know how to turn on an oven and throw rice in a pot with boiling water. Even the simplest things. He barely knew how to use the microwave. I mean, this is rolling on some Cyrax stuff. But in his infinite wisdom, he's like, all right, I'm moving in with 2 of my roommates. And after about maybe a month, and I think I'm giving him a lot of credit there, he goes to the roommates and tells them, all right, guys, listen. I've got a bright idea. You know my soured reputation on the internet? Well, I'm going to turn that around. Just today, I quit my job, and now I'm going to become Twitch famous. Needless to say, a little bit later, Chibi is kicked out and heading home. This is the kind of possibilities that Chibi has going for him right now. He could lose the job in a second. in a second. He hasn't even started the teaching job. Well, matter of fact, I think he started his teaching job 3 days ago at the time of making this video. Oh, I wish he would put out some more content here soon, but I know he won't, so we're just going ahead with it, and that'll be the future Chibi video. But back to the point, if you, Chibi, fail here, if you decide all of a sudden that you finally made it in life, that you're gonna prove all the trolls wrong, all of the haters, and you're gonna finally come back and make that streaming career after you inevitably get fired from one of your jobs, because apparently he has 2 jobs now, it's not going to work out very well for you. You can only hope that you saved up enough money for a plane ticket, and if you didn't do that, it really is the Oscar the Grouch living, and I don't think Japan takes as kindly to that as America, because mommy's not here to save you anymore, and if she has to, she is going to be so mad at him.
And the only real way to shut them up is by doing what they think I can't.
I would really prefer if you would be quiet.
Ah, hi. Yeah, you can see I've been walking like 8 minutes and I'm already sweaty. More walking than I've done my whole life. Yeah, exactly. It is a lot of walking. But it means I get some physical exercise at last, and definitely need that. Let's see, what do I get today? I don't want to spend too much money. All memes are stupid memes. Look no further. I'm the biggest stupid meme there is. What am I most excited for? Trying to find out what's next. Whether or not this goes well, you can say you did it, which most can't say. Exactly. At the end of the day, that's all I care about. If I succeed, if I fail, don't really matter to me. I'm here, and I'm gonna make the best of it. Doesn't matter if the whole internet wants to see me fail. I don't care. You don't want to set your expectations too high. You hold your hand out flat. Yeah, maybe it is a little bit shaky, but I think I've always had that problem to a degree. How long am I in Japan for? At least a year. Never entertain defeat. Shut up, don't think about it. Precisely. I mean, I'll have 2 jobs. One job I'll be earning American-based income. The other job I'll be earning yen. And they won't ever interfere with each other. So, what am I doing my Japanese job? I'm just teaching English, nothing fancy. But I don't start that job until next month.
How bad Chibi is with communication, I wondered, since he's in Japan and he's watched so much anime in his life, as soon as he walked through those doors, he's now thinking in manga. He was having like the Death Note internal monologues, just standing there for a half second. It wasn't even because he was trying to think what Japanese word he should be using at the moment. It was because he was like, should I ask for the alcohol? I've been drinking alcohol for the past 10, 15 days in a row to deal with this terrible decision that I've made for myself. And then the Japanese lady, the worker who's working so hard to feed whatever just walked through those front door, she's like, just not thinking about anything. When will this guy actually say something in order? And Chibi's sitting over there, yes, I will drink the alcohol. And yes, I still will get eggs and bacon, even though I'm in a different country. Oh, of course, yes, that's what Chibi will do. Yes, ma'am, whatever he says in Japanese. And I can't confirm it, but I'm pretty sure she said after that, Suzuko ni shite kadasi. And I don't know if that's the exact translation because I just typed it in on Google, but I am almost 100,000% positive that's what she said. Hit him with the, I'd really prefer if you would be quiet. But on a real note, guys, did you see how bad his hands were shaking? I really do think Chibi has been taking up the bottle a little more often just because he is in Japan, and in his mind he is somehow determined that Japanese drinks are way better for him and he's gonna drink them 24/7. Or maybe that's just the person he moved in with. He moved in with the Silent Hill F's father.
And some people treat Japan like a social media backdrop, which I cannot stand. Will you get KFC for Christmas? Well, yeah, gotta go traditional. Doing okay. Tell you what though, the process of getting everything together has been slow as hell. Finally got my Japanese phone number. Bank account should be happening in probably the next week. But other than that, apartments are on hold because I don't have a bank card yet. So once I get that, that's when I'll be able to actually start applying for them. Which sucks because I found one I really liked. But I don't know if I'll be able to apply for it until it might actually end up getting taken. But I do apologize. I haven't been really doing this that often. Do I feel healthier living here? Actually, a lot more, yeah. I mean, I'm still depressed, but I think that more so comes from the language barrier, if nothing else. I'm still learning the language, and it's a struggle, trust me. But I'm doing the best I can, and the people that I've been talking to have, been acknowledging my efforts at the very least. Following you for a minute and no hate, rooting for you. I appreciate it, man. I know a lot of people out there still have a hate for me that's as high as the tower, but I really don't know where it comes from. I'm just a guy trying to make it out here just like everybody else. Yeah, I've had some fuck ups along the way. Trust me, I have. I know. I'm aware. But this is definitely a new chapter in my life. One that I honestly never thought I'd be able to take. Forgive myself first and foremost. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm still learning to have that self-compassion. It's hard when you've gotten your failures beaten into you every so often. Every time you take a breath or go online. At some point you just kind of believe it yourself. But I just kind of have to unlearn that, unlearn that behavior. I mean, it is what it is. A lot of things you have to get used to. But that's just kind of, unfortunately, part of the experience. For better or for worse. I went to an Anytime Fitness before, back when I was living in America, and let's just say I didn't like them. They were very scammy, very scammy. The guy that I talked to, he tried to trick me into a full year's worth of personal training. And he nearly had me too. Bro had me on the horn for $5,000 for a whole year of personal training. I mean, for what it's worth, the dude was an excellent salesman, but god damn was he a sleaze. So I can't stand people like that.
Chibi, there is plenty of reasons that people continue to come to your stream and bring up the bad things that you did in your past. If you was just a I'd really prefer if you'd be quiet guy, and you never went to another sgdq and were being creepy with girls, and if you never got on your Facebook and was bragging about how you had a girlfriend who wasn't a very good age, not very appropriate for Chibi when he was 21, actually I think he was 19 at the time, but the age gap was still incredibly weird, like Cyrax level. If sgdq 2014 was the peak of your career, then that would be it. You'd probably have like 2 people who would pop in every now and then, give you that I'd really prefer if you'd be quiet, and move on with their life. I mean, you could have probably made t-shirts of this and you would have done just fine, just accepted the meme. But you've ran from it, you get so angry when it's brought up. That's the reason stuff like this continues, and the fact you're the most traditional Lolcow that I've ever seen. You have almost zero troll interaction, but continue to mess up time and time again. Just like when you brought out that gym membership just a minute ago. You were 30 something years old, you had just got kicked out of magnet therapy, and then you start a $5,000 a year gym program that you know you was never going to go to. How does someone talk you into that kind of stuff? It's like, no, I'm just going to go to the gym by myself every now and then. And if you truly need a trainer, like you're that desperate, you really need to figure things out, even though YouTube is free and readily available, doesn't make any sense to me personally. But if that's what you've got to do, why wouldn't you just have like lessons, go there every now and then, be like, okay, I'm going to use you for a week and then never use you again. And if I need to get help getting back on track, well, let's hire him again. Well, I don't understand it. Maybe it was the gym he was going to, or maybe this is just the new hustle. And for Chibi to say that this guy is a sleazeball for the work that he's doing, you literally were talking about in text messages on the last Lolcow doc I made on you about how you need to be visiting more old people so you can get them easy sales, Chibi. That's your job, and you do the same exact thing, but you'll never understand hypocrisy, will you?
I have a new apartment. I am living at my new apartment, and things are great. Just got a new computer desk, bought a new shelf, and yeah, I love this place. Truly, I do. A lot of people said that I couldn't do this, so I'd never be able to do it. But here I am, I'm living my best life out here. And honestly, I think I'm pretty happy. All things considered. I mean, shit. I've got more of a social life now than I've ever had. I go out to bars maybe like 2 or 3 times a week. I meet new people, get to sing, get to drink. It's fun, it really is. Favorite conveni snack? My go-to is usually a tuna and mayo onigiri. The move actually wasn't that bad, believe it or not. From America, it was a little rough because I had a lot of things. I had like 4 bags, 2 suitcases, my guitar case with my prop keyblades for my cosplay, and my backpack that has my game system and my laptop and all that stuff in there. So yeah, trying to get all that and wheel it around was a bit of a pain. But yeah, I was living with my friend for a little while in his apartment, and it was a bit cramped. So it's a bit of an adjustment, really. I mean, being an English teacher, you kind of have different challenges, right? You teach adults, you teach kids, and you have to really tailor your lessons based on who you're teaching. The kids' lessons are definitely way more difficult because not only are you trying to teach them their target language, you're also trying to make sure that they're not disruptive, right? You're trying to police their behavior at the same time.
What Chibi just described is basically half of America after they turned 21. All kinds of people went out, socialized, they drank at bars all the time. That's what your 20s were made for, Chibi. But this dude, he decided to sit there bing bang wahoo every single night to Mario until his mom came in there screaming at him instead of just living his life. But then he decides that, okay, if I'm gonna ever have a social life, I'm gonna have to move halfway across the world all the way to Japan, where I have like 2 or 3 friends who had a somewhat language barrier, so they never found the sgdq stuff unless he sent it to them, and just felt so bad that they decided that he could live on their couch, and when he finally did, he had to get out of there really quick. And now he's going to bars, he's socializing, he's singing karaoke, and he believes he's actually making friends, even though in the last couple of clips we watched, he was saying that there's a huge language barrier right now, but people are being really encouraging while he's trying. It's like, so which one is it? Are you making a bunch of friends, or people who are like trying to have a night out, have a nice drink, listening to you like butcher their language, and eventually just viewing you as the entertainment? Because guys, could you really imagine Chibi isn't doing the most ridiculous things possible while he's hammered drunk in those bars? And I told you guys, I thought Chibi was picking up the drink a little bit more, and I believe that to be true, especially since he's saying he's going out 2, maybe 3 times a week. That money's gonna be drying up real soon, but luckily he's an English teacher to adult and kids. And you know what? I don't know which one is worse. Probably, you know, definitely the younger generation because how Chibi is, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Could you imagine being an adult? You just got out of school and for some reason or another you want to learn another language. So you go to another prep school or something like that. It seems weird to me that adults and kids can be taught there, but you know, different country, I don't know everything about it. So you decide you need to re-educate yourself about it. You go there and it's Chibi. How could you take that dude serious? The dude's wearing some Super Mario shirts. If he's got a suit on, you know it's covered in mustard and all kinds of other sushi products. He's probably trauma dumping on you a little bit, really making your life awful. From the little that you're understanding, oh man, could you imagine like Chibi being your teacher? And then there's the very concerning part where people who are not the right age for Chibi to be hanging around in a completely different country where they have a language barrier and he's supposed to be a role model. I mean, if it wasn't Chibi, this should be a person that you look up to, that you feel a little bit protected by, you know? And Chibi multiple times in the past, like not even that many years ago, has done some very, very bad things. Sent pictures to people that he shouldn't, multiple people that he shouldn't, so bad that he got banned from another speedrunning event, or maybe it was an anime convention. I'm not really sure at the moment. But that's what he was up to, and now he's gonna be a teacher? This just isn't right, and it's actually really dangerous that he's put himself in that situation. We can only hope that that job doesn't last long, so Chibi doesn't end up doing something incredibly grimy here in the near future. But I guess that's enough for me today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, use the new hype feature, comment down below, follow all the socials as well, and I'll catch you guys next time.